Hello, students. I am Ritu Tomarathi, Assistant Professor of English at Government College for Girls, Sector 14, Gurugram. Under the aegis of Director General, Higher Education Haryana, today we are going to take up the story The Child. This story is in the part of syllabus of several universities in BA first year, semester second. This story is going to benefit undergraduate students in the understanding of the story as well as to the narrator and to the several aspects or the several themes that are covered up in the story. This story is a part of the book Language and Literature Part 2, and this is 7th chapter, The Child, written by Munshi Premchand. Today, first of all, I will familiarize to the story's writer, Munshi Premchand. Actually, Munshi Premchand is the pen name of the writer Dhanpat Rai Shrivastava, and he has been the celebrated writer of Hindi as well as Urdu language in the first half of 20th century. He has done several works in fiction as well as in story writing. He wrote a dozen novels and more than 300 stories. This story, The Child, is actually translated into English by Ruth Vanita. She is an Indian academician, author, as well as a social activist. And her specialization is mainly in British and Indian literary history. Let us start the story, The Child. I read the first line for you. People call Gangu a Brahman, and he considers himself a Brahman. This is a very important line, and in the very starting of the story, the theme has been apparently taken up by the author. Why he calls himself a Brahman? This is an important point to concentrate. Because Gangu is a man who lives and knows about the caste-ridden society. In this society, Brahmin takes up the highest rank, while all other castes, they are below them. So the narrator has been pointing out that Gangu is a Brahmin, and he takes up that, yes, and he carries it very hardly that I am a Brahmin. And he has all the characteristics that we expect from this caste. The second line is again very important. My groom and other servants salute me. The use of first person pronoun I shows that the narrator is going to present the story in the first person. Here in the story, narrator is a rich man and he is having several servants in his house. Among them, Gangu is one of the servants. But first of all, I will take you to the several qualities that one expects, or in the society we expect servants to have. What? First of all, those servants, they are gossip mongers. Whenever they get some free time, they sit and talk to each other and they pull each other's leg. Secondly, they mainly want that the work should be lessened. Thirdly, they want their wages to be hiked from time to time. And the next point is that they are addicted to opium or some other drugs which intoxicates them. But Gangu is one who is beyond all these characteristics. He neither is addicted to opium, nor he does the gossipings, neither he goes to his master anytime and asks for money or for leave. He's a different kind of man. But the author presents Gangu in a different light. He tells that Gangu is one who does not take advantage, but he does not like to do the work which his caste doesn't allow him. For example, he doesn't like to take the glass from which the master has taken the water. So this is an important point, that the character sketch of Gangu has been presented in the very first paragraph of the story. Moving ahead, it is told to us that all other servants are different while Gangu is a different man. And the master says, I don't want any of them to come and talk to me unless I call them. But once one happens that Gangu approaches his master And he is very hesitant in telling his master as what is the issue and what he wants to say. The master in his mind thinks that Gangu has either come to me for leave or for not doing some work, or he might have come to ask for some money. So this is the opinion of the master, who is having several servants in his house. Now, Gangu is very, very hesitant. He doesn't want to say what he has come to say. So this shows that there is something which is bothering him again and again. But he has to tell his master that point that he wants to discuss. So very slowly and steadily he tells his master that, "Sir, I want to leave this job." So this keeps the master in utter amazement, because the master has been treating all of his servants equally, and he is treating them at par, and in a very good manner he treats. So this shows that when the master is treating them well, why someone wants to leave the job? So master feels very surprised as well as shocked as why Gangu has come and is asking to leave the job. And in such a proper manner, he is putting forward the resignation. So this is a manner that we don't expect the servants to have. So here again, the character sketch of Gangu is told to us that he is a man who takes himself in high respect. Means he does not want himself to belittle with other servants. No doubt he is doing his job as a servant, but he has his characteristic of caste Brahmin on the high colors. So the master says, "I was very surprised to see Gangu's sharp and proud face looking mild, pleading, and bashful. I reckoned he wanted to say something but was unable to find the right words." So now Gangu tells that I want to resign because I want to marry a woman. Which woman? Gomti Devi. So this is for the first time in the story that a woman has been introduced. So who is the woman? Gomti Devi. Gomti Devi is actually a character who is considered as of loose moral character. So this is an important point, students, that a woman is called as of loose moral character because other people thinks like this of a woman. Here the theme changes, and the suppression and harassment of women has been taken up by Munshi Premchand very clearly. He tells us that the society is like this only, and through this story, he wants to bring out the realism that is present in the society. So the second theme is that Munshi Premchand brings out the realism as it is, brings out the realism of the society very clearly through his stories. That's why his stories are very, very important, and they make himself a distinguished writer, the social realism. So there can be a question also on the social realism or present in the story. Now, why Gomti Devi is called a woman of negative shade or of loose character? Because she got married 3 times, and every time either she is thrown away by the husband or she comes out, she runs away from their house within a few months. So this is an important point in the story, that Gomti Devi does not remain in any marriage for a month or more than that. And this news has spread wildly throughout the village where they are living. And master of Gangu also knows about it. Now what happens? The master feels that Gangu is a innocent man, and if he will marry Gomti Devi, then his whole life would be spoiled. So in order to save his life, master tries to dissuade Gangu from marrying Gomti Devi. And he tells that, why do you want to marry her? She will leave you within a few months or within a few weeks, in fact. But nobody can do it that Gangu doesn't marry Gomti Devi. He has decided it and he wants to go for it. That's why the master also allows him to leave the job, but the master is having certain premonitions, means he has a foreboding, means he has something that he knows that this marriage will not last very long. And within a few weeks, within 7 days, Gangu will come back and join his job as a servant, because Gomti Devi will run away from this marriage with Gangu also within a month. So this is the behavior of the society. This is how society treats women. But Gangu tells his master that, sir, the society is like this, that whosoever marries a woman, they give that woman clothes, shelter, and food. But he makes, this is the most important dialogue of the story, that he says that a woman does not want only the food and the shelter, rather a woman wants something more also. And what is it that a woman wants? A woman wants some love too. A woman also requires love in order to live in a marital bond, to live in a marriage. And this is what she was not getting from her husbands, and that's why she came out of that marriage. And now he says that no doubt people think that she is possessed of spirit. So this is also the point. The orthodoxy is also stricken very hard by the writer Munshi Premchand. He tells that people are very, very superstitious. People are very, very orthodox. And they believe that whatever they think is right. And then this is a line from the story. I read it for you. And then she also suffers from an ailment. She is possessed by a spirit. Sometimes she gets hystericals and falls down in a faint. So this is what other people think about her, that she faints, she is possessed by a spirit. This shows that orthodoxy is a very, very present phenomena at that time. And Munshi Premchand, look at the greatness of the writer who wrote in the first decade of 20th century that yes, such things are wrong and it is time to move ahead of such things. Now a question to you all. Have we moved from the orthodoxy and the superstition present in the society even in the second decade of 21st century? Even after the passing of 100 years, 100 years have passed, but we are still the same. When the cat crosses our path, or the spirits or the negative things, we are equally like that. But he was a writer who took it as a job of himself, that I will familiarize the society that these are the shortcomings. Here I take you to the point of satire. Satire is actually a literary device with the help of which the writer very humorously presents the vices. Vices means those things which we do not expect from the society. So he presents all the vices, and he wants to reform the society of its shortcomings. That's why Munshi Premchand has brought in the picture of woman in the society. And women are always not treated at par with man. And in this story also, Munshi Premchand has taught us that yes, in this story he has used satire as a literary device to tell the people that yes, we should do away with it. And we should have some principles in our life. Gangu is presented as a man of principles. Gangu, he does not care about the society and such things that happen in society. Rather, he very boldly takes his decision to marry Gomti Devi, and he even executes his decision. Means he wants to marry Gomti Devi, and he does marry Gomti Devi. Now, there is a line in the second part of the story which moves like, I quote, 5 months passed. Gangu had married Gomti, and he was living in a thatched house in the same neighborhood. He eked out a living by selling snacks from a cart. So what he does is he sells some snacks and makes his livelihood. And he is having a good time with Gomti Devi. Gangu is actually an illiterate man, but he considers Gomti Devi as a very well educated woman, and she has a way of leading life. And this is how, with a small earning, Gomti Devi has blessed the house of Gangu with all kinds of happiness that can be arranged in that living. This is an important thing, important point of the story, that Gomti Devi's real character, Gomti Devi's real strength has been shown by a man who is actually illiterate, uneducated, and but he has an understanding, and that understanding is not bound by orthodoxy or the superstition or whatever the society says. He does not believe in them. Rather, he is a man quite higher. He is on a higher platform than all other man in the society. And one day he meets his master in the market where he is selling snacks. So master feels a cruel pleasure within that, yes, this is how the Gangu has been reduced to the state of a cart puller, a seller on the cart. And he gets pleasure that you are reduced to such a poor state. But he tells, no, master, I have a dignified joy, I have a peaceful home, and Gomti Devi has given me the real happiness in marriage. So he feels that my life has become more prosperous with Gomti Devi. But this is not the point of view of the society. The society's point of view is conveyed through the author, the master with whom he was earlier working as a servant. Here comes the real point. And one day the master comes to know that Gomti Devi has ran away. So the master feels happy. So this is what is irony. That irony means that whatever he wants to believe that this will happen, that happens. But at the end we come to know that the opposite of this thing has come out. So now, very ironically, the master thinks, and he gets the strange pleasure that the Gomti Devi has eloped from the house of Gangu. And he also thinks that she must have taken away all the important things, all the costly things from the house. So this is the point of view of the society that is expressed through the master. Now, he meets Gangu again in the market, and he sees Gangu with tears in his eyes. Gangu is actually crying. He is very sad. He is very depressed because Gomti Devi has ran away and she did not inform Gangu anything about it. And Gangu thinks that I have always treated Gomti Devi well. Why she ran away? She must at least come and tell me that what things I could have arranged for her in the future. One day, there comes a woman who is actually a friend of Gomti Devi and tells Gangu that Gomti Devi has given birth to a child in a hospital at Lucknow. Gangu feels more than elated. He enjoys that, yes, he has got his life partner again, and he very hurriedly runs to the hospital in Lucknow to bring her back. Now she tells, look at the greatness of that woman, Gomti Devi. Gomti Devi actually tells that I ran away from the house, otherwise you would have become troubled. I was in labor pain and I had to deliver the baby. So in order to bother you, not in order not to bother you, I ran away from the house, and I have no complaints to you as well as to the house or our marital bond. So this is what the devotion of a woman towards her husband can be seen. She runs away, otherwise Gangu will become worried and he will not be happy to see Gomti in pain. And in order to free Gangu from all this, she runs and delivers the baby in a hospital. So this is the greatness of a woman that is shown in such an orthodox society. Now, the master, what happens is that Gangu, when he brings Gomti Devi and the child back to the house, Now, Gangu takes the baby to the master, and he informs his master that, "Sir, this is my child, and this is my child, and I have brought back Gomti Devi to my house." He was full of joy, but the master tells him that, "Gangu, when did you marry Gomti Devi? It was only a 5 months affair. This child cannot be yours." So Gangu also does not understand what he really wants to say. So this is the satirical tone that is employed by the master in the story The Child. The master wants to say that this child does not belongs to you. This child is of some other man. This child might have been conceived by Gomti Devi from her previous marriage. So here Gangu has understood the tone and the satire that the master wants to hint. And he, in a very clear, vividly manner, he tells his master that, "Sir, if we buy a field and there is a crop growing on that field, if we buy the farm, do we discard the crop?" So this is a question to you all. If you buy a farm and crop is growing, we should feel happy that we have got the crop as well as the farm. But Gangu's greatness can be seen. So his uneducatedness does not come in between the understanding of the woman as well as the society and the life. So Gangu is the one who is far beyond his time. He has moved ahead of his time, and he is really a great man. If he is Brahmin or not, does not matter at all. What matters is his real understanding of the human nature, and he treats Gomti Devi a human being. This is something very, very important. So the theme of feminism, the theme of suppression of women is shown. So he is the master of the house, but Gomti Devi has equal say, and Gomti Devi has equal respect for the Gangu, and Gangu equally respects Gomti Devi. So this is very, very important. So now Gangu is very, very enraptured, means happy to have got his wife back along with the child. Students, the child. Here is actually, the child is a person, right? But the child is a noun. But here the child is also used as an adjective. How? What are the qualities of a child? Innocence, impartial attitude, and the purest form. So Gangu is impartial. Gangu is very, very innocent, just like a child. And he treats women equally. It shows his greatness. So Gangu is shown as a child. No doubt, the child, the title of the story is very important. So the child is actually who has taken birth from Gomti Devi and adopted by Gangu. But the child is also there in Gangu. Gangu, who is actually a person, innocent, pure-hearted, kind, and impartial towards all the human beings. So there is a child in Gangu as well. So now the eyes of the master also opens with such devotion and gratitude that Gangu tells about his master. And the master thinks that how foolish, how befooled I was to have said all this about Gomti Devi. And he accepts his fault. And thereby he tells that yes, he informs Gangu that now I will go along with you in order to congratulate Gomti Devi. And I will, whatever nonsense I had made in my life, I will correct all of that. And without changing his clothes, the master holds the child to his chest and takes the child to the house of Gangu as well as to Gomti Devi. So this is all about the story. I read the last paragraph for you. I, a good person, the veil of my goodness had been drawn away from my eyes. So these are the lines spoken by the narrator, who is actually the master of Gangu. I said in a voice steeped in devotion, No, why should she come to see an impure man like me? You think I am a good person? I appear to be good, but my heart is mean. True goodness is in you, and this child is a flower perfumed with your goodness. So, goodness is there in the master and not in the goodness is there in Gangu and not in the master. So this goodness has been depicted very, very clearly by the author Munshi Premchand. So this story has been translated by Ruth Vanita into English language, through which we have come to know about what kind of society was at that time. Now let us discuss about a few questions that are very, very important for the students. First of all, what kind of society was presented by Munshi Premchand? The society has been very, very discriminatory to the women. The society has been very, very biased. The society is very, very prejudiced. And now you will give example of how they talk about Gomti Devi, what kind of opinion they have for Gomti Devi, etc. Second important question is character sketch of Gangu. In this, you will write that Gangu's true goodness have been brought up by Munshi Premchand very clearly. Gangu is a servant and above all, he is a Brahmin. But beyond Brahmin nature or beyond his servitude nature, Gangu's goodness as a human being is very, very important. Gangu is a celebrated person of the society. He opens the eyes of his masters as well to tell him that the society is not like what other people think of. Rather, the society is something from our behavior. And he has understood the real worth of a woman, Gomti Devi. Next important question that can be framed is the character sketch of Gomti Devi. Is she really having loose moral character? No. Gomti Devi is not a woman of loose moral character. Rather, she is educated and she is having that behavior appropriate to herself. She cannot survive in the house of her husband where she is treated just like a servant, where she is treated in order to clean the house, in order to cook the food and to wash the clothes. She wants some love, concern and care. And that all these three things she gets from marrying Gangu. So Gomti Devi's character is also important. Next question is the narrator. The story is in first person narration, which tells us that the story has been having all the realism that is required from it. So this is important point that first person narration adds lively touch to the story. Other questions I will flash back to you, and these are the important questions. You should prepare them in long answers, and a few short questions can also be there, like why Gomti Devi ran from the house of Gangu, or why the master go to the house of Gangu in the end of the story. In the starting, you may be asked, why is Gangu a different servant in the house of the master? So you will tell what we discussed in the starting of the story. And beyond that, there is some vocabulary, there is some transcription also that you have to take up. Now I thank you all for patient listening as well as for understanding that we did through this lecture. Thank you. Thanks a lot.